Good afternoon, Trinity. Good afternoon to those who are joining us online today. Welcome to another midweek motivation with your pastor, Dwayne D. Flood. It is Wednesday. It happens to be the last Wednesday of the year of 2025. And what a day of rejoicing this should be. I believe most of you are probably not even working this week, but if you are, you made it to Wednesday. You are halfway through the week. And we hope and pray that this word just gives you a little encouragement to give you enough fuel to give you through the rest of the week. Now, today we're going to be in Genesis chapter 19, verse number 15 through 17. We're going to skip and go to 24 through 26. Now, we had some technical difficulties on Sunday with the live stream as we got in and it started off really well. And then we got all kinds of mixed looping going on and everything else. So we thought that it might be important for us to ground everybody so we're all on the same page. We're all at the same place because we just kicked off a new sermon series called The Choice. And within this choice, there's some good stuff in here. I want to make sure that each of you get it. So today may be a little longer than what we normally are used to in midweek motivation. But for those who were here on church on Sunday in the sanctuary, you'll get a double dose. For those who were not, at least you're caught up with us so that we can be able to kind of journey on together. But within the choice, you got to understand that we have a choice. God gives us free will and he gives us the ability to choose. And we just have a choice to thank God for our ups and our downs. We thank God for simply who he is. And as we exit 2025, we have a choice to leave some stuff behind. You know, that dead stuff, that stuff that doesn't provide any life or add any life to your life, that doesn't even exist without you constantly breathing life into it to keep it alive. This is the stuff that is heavy to lift. So you just keep dragging it around, hoping that one day it will return to bringing you some joy. We have a choice to leave that stuff in 2025. For 2026 is a year full of new expectations, new experiences, full of the blessings of God. But you can't have room to carry new stuff if you're holding on to old stuff. Your hands are full. Have you ever tried to accept something new and something additional to carry when your hands are full? It doesn't work out. So the choice is yours. Drop that old stuff. Drop those old burdens. Drop those disappointments. Open your hands so that God can place some new blessings in them. For you to carry some new blessings, you got to put some burdens down. But it's all comes down to choice. So I want you to take a look at it. We're going to do something a little different because the text is relatively long. So I thought I'd give you the 3 points and give you the text that surrounds it. Hopefully you found Genesis chapter 19. That's where we're going to be. We're going to start at verse number 15, though. Genesis 19, verse number 15. And within verse 15, we find these words. It says, "And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city." 16, "And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him. And they brought him forth and set him without the city." Now, the first note, the first thing for your notes, get going. Man, you got to get going. First of all, for the leading up to this text, I want to give you a little bit of background. Sodom and Gomorrah is the location. It represents a culture marked by moral decay, injustice, and spiritual blindness. People did what they wanted, when they wanted. They had what they wanted. They totally rejected God. Therefore, God reveals judgment. But before destroying Sodom and Gomorrah, he extends mercy to Lot, who is a nephew of Abraham, and he extends mercies to his family, as Lot was found righteous, yet spiritually compromised by the proximity to sin. Often we look at the Bible in this case, Sodom and Gomorrah, about these old stories that don't apply to current day circumstances. But oh, there is something you need to know. There is nothing new under the sun. Sodom and Gomorrah sound much like the cities we live in today. Let's face it, we are currently living in a culture that is marked by moral decay, injustice, spiritual blindness, people doing what they want when they want to do it. They could care less about God, care less about going to church. God has every right to unleash judgment, but instead, He extends some mercy. So you should thank God every day that He extended His mercy. He gave you grace, for He could have destroyed you, but He gave you another day, all according to His mercy. But look at verse number 15. It provides some good insights into God's plan. It states that when morning had come, the angels hastened Lot. They urgently urged Lot. They pressed Lot. They forced Lot to move. This wasn't no gentle encouragement. If it was in today's language, it would sound something like this: Lot, time is running out. Don't be ignorant. Get going. So the text says also that arise, take thy wife and thy two daughters, which are here, lest they be consumed in the iniquity of the city. Lot, you need to understand that because of the iniquity of the city, because the people choose to reject my law, reject what is righteous, plan to sin, executed that sin, the city will be consumed. It will be swept away. It will be completely destroyed. It will be as if it never existed. But if you stay, you will face the same fate. So get going. Now, how many times has that little voice inside of you told you to get going, but you ignored it? You just thought that you were getting caught up in your feelings. So because you stopped listening to his voice, he sent someone else to tell you to get going. But the choice is yours. Will you go or stay in the same city, the same location, the same situation, the same circumstances? Beloved, you need to get going. Now, verse number 16 helps us see that Lot needed some extra encouragement. It says, and while he lingered, Lot didn't get the message. Lot did not move fast enough. So Lot had something happen. Look what happened in verse number 16. And while he lingered, the men, the angels, laid hold upon his hand and upon the hand of his wife and upon the hand of his two daughters, and the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought them forth and set him without the city. The angels took Lot and his family and placed them outside the city. Now, you need to know that if you want to linger, if you don't want to move fast enough, then thank God Almighty that He extends His mercy and He takes you by the hand. I mean, that is some good stuff right there. And He takes you by the hand and He leads you to where He wants you to be. He will lift you up. He'll turn you around. He'll place your feet on higher ground. And when you look back, you don't understand why you had to go through what you went through, why you had to go to a situation that where the door was closed. But just put your faith in trusting God, for He knows what He has in store for you. He has good plans for you, plans not to hurt you, plans that give you hope and a good future that will bless your life. You may not understand why you're going through what you're going through right now, but when you look back and you think about things, you start to identify some things that you understand it better by and by. But you can't stay where you are. You can't linger. You are going to be consumed. So you need to get going. That's a good first little point for you, just to remind you, get going. Now, the second one for your notes that you need to know, it's up to you. It really is up to you. Look at verse number 17. And it came to pass when they had brought them forth abroad that he said, escape for thy life. Look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. Now, I find it interesting that we serve a God who loves us takes our hand, but allows us to choose and take the next step. See, God could have took Lot and his wife and his daughters all the way to the mountain. No, God brought them to outside of the city. God can bring you out of an abusive relationship. He can take you by the hand. He can physically lead you out. But it's up to you to let go of that emotional attachment. Let go and don't go back. It's up to you. It's up to you. But look at verse number 17. It says, and it came to pass at the right time, regardless of Lot lingering, when they had brought them out of the city, Lot received some instructions. The angel said, escape for thy life. Look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. If you do, thou be consumed. The choice, it's up to you. Now let's break this down, because escape means to slip away, be delivered, be rescued from this danger. This is not a passive word. It assumes an immediate decisive action that must be taken. The text says to escape for thy life. Don't look behind thee. Beloved, it is up to you. You can choose to run to your deliverance, or you can just stay where you are, holding on to your past hurt, past pain, current troubles, complain and stay in your old woe is me mindset, or you can escape. You can run for your life, because 2025 is just about over. 2026 is on the horizon. As the year comes to an end, why don't you leave some stuff behind? Why don't you escape for your life? For God wants to set you free. And when Jesus sets you free, you are free indeed. God wants to deliver you, rescue you, but you need to take immediate action. It cannot be passive, but intentional. I'm just got to decide. I'm letting go of that job that let me go. I'm letting go of that relationship that is not leading to marriage, that relationship that doesn't reflect the love that God has for my life. I'm letting go of that church hurt from the past and choose to run, escape for thy life. Choose to be delivered. Allow God to rescue you, for you must know that letting go is not denial, it's faith. You are putting your faith in God, your trust in God. So it's up to you to let go of what God has already healed you from. It's up to you to let go of what God has already forgiven. It's up to you to let go of what God has already set you free from. It's up to you. Man, I'm not going to get too excited, but it's good stuff. It's up to you. Now look at this third point for your notes, the last one we have for you. You got to know the consequence. There are consequences. You know, we used to tell our kids when they were younger that there are consequences for everything you do. If you do something good, there are good consequences. If you do something bad, there are bad consequences. For everything has a consequence. It's the consequence. So in verse number 24 and 25, we see the consequences of iniquity of Sodom and Gomorrah. Verse 24 says, then the Lord rained down upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. Now you got to know that brimstone is a yellow, flammable material, often referred to as sulfur, which is a symbol of God's intense judgment, wrath, and destruction against sin. The closest thing that we can compare this to on earth is a volcanic lava being poured out of heaven upon Sodom and Gomorrah. We see not only brimstone, but fire rain down from heaven, which indicates that Sodom and Gomorrah suffered a terrifying, consuming judgment. Now, this is very prophetic, as what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah for the punishment of sin will eventually happen unto all those who reject Jesus Christ. Man, teach, pastor, I'm doing the best I can. It's prophetic. And because the final event hasn't happened yet, but God said it will, and it will happen. He said it, it will happen. And look what's going to happen. It's going to be just like verse number 25. God will destroy the cities, the surrounding area, the adjacent cities, those who live in those cities, all signs of life, even the plants that grow from the ground will be destroyed by brimstone and fire. It's the consequence. But what is shocking to me takes place in verse number 26. But first, let's reset the stage because in verse number 17, if you remember, it indicated that the two angels took Lot and his family by the hand, led them out of the city, told them to escape for their lives, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. But look what happens in verse number 26. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. His wife looked back. His wife disobeyed the command of God and became a pillar of salt. It's the consequence. Now, it's kind of interesting how this lady turned to a pillar of salt. God turned her to a pillar of salt. Please know that salt is a preserving agent. It's used to preserve meat, used to add seasoning, used to purify water. It's even used as a disinfectant. Salt has a spiritual significance. It's viewed as purity, reflecting protection against evil, preservation, reflecting the unbreakable bond to God, covenant, which outlines the divine relationship with God. In fact, Jesus encourages us to be salty people, adding flavor to life by sharing the love of Christ. But here we see the consequences of Lot's wife's behavior. In verse number 26, it indicates that Lot's wife looked back. The Hebrew context of this action indicates that this was no mere little glance. She had a longing reflection, an emotional attachment. She didn't just look back, she reached back with her heart. See, she would rather long for what she had versus the unknown of what God had in store for her. So the consequence is that she was preserved as a monument to her hesitation, a visible warning against a divided heart. God turned her to salt. For although she was removed physically from the city, she was emotionally still there. It's just the consequence. Now, Trinity, why are you hesitating? Why are you holding on to things in your heart that God has declared unsafe for you? Why are you desiring things in your heart that led to destruction? Don't look back. Instead, look forward. For when you look forward, you are experiencing the next page in your own personal book of life. Man, that is good, good stuff. For it's hard to experience your next chapter if you desire to stay in your current chapter. Don't look back. Instead, look forward. You will see his goodness. You will see his and experience his mercy. You will know his grace. When you look forward, you are telling God, I'm ready to turn the page as my next chapter is going to be my best chapter. I'm allowing God to write the next chapter while I'm walking by faith and not by sight. For it comes down to choice. So in 2026, what will you choose? Will you choose to follow and be faithful to a loving God who knows the best for you? You may not see where the destination is, but you put your faith and trust in God because he did it before and he'll do it again. Jesus will walk you by side to get you where you need to go. Or will you choose to stay where you are in 2025, still complaining about the chapter in life in which God has you in, still moping and complaining about that relationship that you think that is going to turn into marriage? What do you choose to do? Just know it's the choice. Hopefully that blessed your life, blessed you, and put you in a good situation to set you up for the next sermon series. Now, we invite you to come out to Watch Night services tonight. Some people call it the crossover service, which is basically crossing over from one year to the next year. So I want you to come out. I'm inviting you to come out so that you can get part 2 of this sermon series because we're going to be talking about the choice. Services begin tonight at 7 p.m. here at Trinity Missionary Baptist Church. We are located at 6320 Chandler Street, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45227. 227, excuse me. So just come check us out. Come get a word. After the word, we're going to just have a real powerful praise and worship for 1 hour. And then after that, we're going to have a family fun night. And we're just going to have a good time just fellowshipping together. So if you want to come check us out, you're more than welcome and invited to do so. If you want to find out more information about us or more content along these lines, we encourage you to go to our website at www.trinitymbcmadisonville.com. I'll hope and pray that you have a great, blessed rest of the day. Happy New Year to you. I won't leave you a message tonight because I'm going to give you a message from the sanctuary. So come out, enjoy. Happy New Year. And if I don't see you tonight, I'll see you next year. Take care.